Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV.
So, there is a great book written by Mary Ann Sieghart called The Authority Gap. And in The Authority Gap, it explains in the first few pages that by the ages of 5, both boys and girls think that boys are more intelligent, even though on every single metric you can measure, boys are simply not as much as girls. And this goes all the way through. And in fact, just to blow another thing out the water, you know how there's this stereotype of women can't read maps. I don't know if it's, but I was reading this book just recently called Eve, how the female body drove 200 million years of human evolution. And it says that if you show a man and a woman a map to follow, the man will be better at it. If you show those people a map with a person at each junction, the woman will remember better than the man. So men are functional, women are communal and life-giving. So what was the question you asked me before that? I lost my train of thought. Always do that.
It's okay.
About being a manager. Yeah. Sorry. No, it's not any easier. So in the UK, for every £1 invested into an entrepreneur, a woman gets 7p. There is a story on the BBC website, it's been there a number of times, that 75% of female surgeons are being sexually assaulted in the operating room of hospitals in the UK today. So, Lydia, I mean, you're absolutely right, both in Afghanistan, you look at Syria, in fact, you look at the DRC, these are just the wars, Sudan, they're the wars I know about. Oh no, obviously Russia, Ukraine, probably soon to be us as well. So the excuse for men to use rape as a tool of war it's pretty much an excuse, I think. So is it more difficult now than it was? If it wasn't as difficult, more women would be in charge. So you're talking about 3 to 5% of FTSE 250 companies. Same with the, is it the NASDAQ in America? Basically, women do not get up to or stay in high level positions. And this is a bind. I sent you a video earlier about good girl deprogramming. There's a whole set of standards that girls are held to. They're unwritten, but they affect every aspect of a young girl's and then woman's life and make it impossible for her really to exist in any kind of equality at all.
Thank you, Jonathan. Some very powerful insights there. Reverend Lydia, do you have anything to say about what Jonathan has just shared in terms of the revelations that, we're now in 2025 and we're talking about these things as if we're in the Victorian times?
Well, I have to admit that I am flabbergasted as what happens to the surgeons in the UK, a women surgeon in the UK, because I would never have thought such a thing in such a wonderful country. So I'm surprised. I'm in disbelief, and I believe you, but at the same time, I do not understand why it still happens, and we are in 2025. So I do not understand how this happens. It's overwhelming, I have to admit. So what you just told me, well, you told everyone, is overwhelming. It is.
Well, I don't want to, so we can take a much lighter tone with this conversation if you'd like, because I've not even begun to tell you the horror. And the thing is, you see, that I'm mansplaining your lived experience. But it's only by reading female authors and absorbing female content that I've actually got an idea of what it's like to be a woman, and I can only barely empathise. But for example, so in Melinda Gates' book, The Moment of Lift, you're familiar with the term FGM, presumably?
Yes.
And that is horrifically carried out by the girls' mothers, because from their perspective it's normal. And she talks in the book about how it's this big ceremony with drums and smoke and coloured lights and stuff like that. And that's to hide the screams from the no pain medication that's being given to the girls as their most private parts are being cut out with a rusty blade. And that happens, it's happening every day, happens 48,000 times in the UK, they reckon. Apparently Egypt is the country with the highest level of FGM, 98%. So there is, and obviously you represent a faith, and I'm not into faith wars. I think belief is a great thing, but obviously there is the belief that a wife and a mother does not need to have any enjoyment from sex, and so removing her enjoyment bits should make no difference in a patriarchy, which is where we all live.
Wow, Jonathan, I've seen a number of documentaries about the removal of female genitalia, and it is quite horrific. And I've also met people as well from the Universal Peace Federation who have got movements about this exact procedure. And what I will say is that it's powerfully demonic, and it's also inspiring to hear the women's stories of the way that they've overcome their challenges. Well, we're just about to step over into a short commercial break. And when we come back, we will come back having a look at how the environment impacts girls' confidence and aspirations. And we're going to look at how we can solve some of the problems in education and some of the things that Jonathan has been up to in changing how things work in the education. So now over to a brief commercial break.
Ever dreamed of hosting your own TV show, sharing your story with a global audience? Now's your chance to shine. At USA Global TV and Radio, we make it easy for you to create, host and broadcast your very own TV show. Whether you're a storyteller, entrepreneur or industry expert, we help you bring your vision to life. With our exclusive interview, live streaming and podcasting training, you'll gain the skills and confidence to captivate your audience. Our global platform ensures your voice is heard worldwide. Join our community of creators who are already making an impact, one show at a time. Step into the spotlight. Host your own TV show on USA Global TV and Radio. Book your discovery call today at usaglobaltv.com. Copyright 2025 USA Global TV and Radio. All rights reserved. Terms and conditions apply. To learn more, visit usaglobaltv.com.
Hello and welcome back to A Woman's Prerogative, where we're having a very, very deep and interesting conversation and exploration with our special guest, Jonathan MacDonald, and our resident panellist, Reverend Lydia Fougeres. Let's bring them out once again and let's continue exploring bridging the gap, empowering girls in education and STEM. Well, we did leave our audience on quite a cliffhanger there, and I felt something that was very, very deep and exploring. But what I'd like to do is look at some of the things that you're doing, Jonathan, in terms of the education and how you're making the difference with some of the programs that you have in terms of schoolgirls, how they lose their confidence